watching.
Subscribe.
Hello and welcome to ScreenStalker, Know Your Role. I'm Ollie Davis and I'm joined today by the star of WWE 2K20's latest video game commercial,
No pictures.
housemate Simon.
No pictures.
Please press the thumbs up button, subscribe because we're getting Swifty to 50.
Less of the dance.
More of the dance.
Okay.
And answer our question of the day, what do you want to see from an all-elite wrestling video game? In today's show, we've got coming up all the details from today's Pokemon Sword and Shield announcement, some huge plans for Disney Plus's streaming service, your comments, and also how WWE's 2K studio might be jumping ship to AEW.
So, PlayStation Lifestyle reported that Ukes are going to officially leave 2K. The 2K games have been struggling for a while, so this is very exciting stuff for anyone who's a fan of the Yuke's Aki engine.
And the Aki engine was on No Mercy and the N64 video games of old.
Packed in with all these amazing game modes, and you could just create anything you wanted. And then as soon as 2K took over, suddenly that stuff starts getting limited. Suddenly that stuff now starts being locked behind microtransactions, which I know everyone's doing, but 2K particularly are bad at that. You know, like even in the career mode in 2K19, as a apparently star indie wrestler, you can't choose your own gear. That's like the main part of being a wrestler is you choose how you look.
Yeah, I want to have the China Bazooka Pyro entrance and wear jean shorts from the get-go.
Or Booker T's entrance where he gets exploded into the air. That's a lot of fun.
So it's interesting you bring up the microtransaction side of it, because Hiromi Furuta, who's Ukes' vice president, specifically said, we're not chasing money or trends.
But let's be honest, it's also because sales are going down. And the reason sales are going down is because the product's not as good. 2K has a very strict shape in which their sports titles are created. 2K have never been sure what this game is and what it's supposed to be. And so instead they just go, well, we'll just come up with 2K originals. People want that. People want Harry and the Hendersons, Bray Wyatt, or whatever the hell that was. No. Make it make sense, broadly speaking. And then we can talk about all the fun stuff.
Bobbleheads.
Yeah, like the big head thing. It's just like, you haven't earned the right to start ironically commenting on your own game. They have to make a good game. 2K15 was so buggy it shouldn't have been released. And I think Ukes are correct in saying, same way Bungie were when they left Activision over Destiny, your broad corporate aims are infringing on our ability to make a game which we think will sell better without that stuff.
They've gone on to talk about how there's no competition in the wrestling game market, but also we feel like we haven't achieved what we've really wanted to do. For example, in many cases, we're still using old assets and we're not able to do some things in the way that we want to. We are also aware that our creators are beginning to lose sight of their passion and confidence and becoming focused only on completing assigned tasks.
So I think that's just more to do with them basically saying, 2K have just come in and gone, don't worry about the game. These are the things we're advertising this year to get people to buy it, and that's how we sell things. So just go bolt these things on. We need lots of content which sounds like it's extra, fresh and new, so that people will then spend money on it. Whereas Ukes are saying, we don't believe the core game is good enough that people invest in the first place.
WWE 2K20, of course, is still getting made. It had its release promo at the start of this week, and 2K have said, as we've continued to invest in the WWE 2K franchise, we've seen the visual concepts team display incredible passion, talent and commitment. A little bit of shade there to Ukes. To the future of the series, we thank Ukes for their years of partnership and are excited to see what the visual concepts team brings to the franchise moving forward. But where this gets really interesting is that a couple of months ago, way before any of this was announced, probably to protect the 2K20 release and not give it that bad press, is that Ukes were already expressing these concerns publicly to Video Games Chronicle in May, where the vice president told them they're going to start developing a new wrestling game separate to the WWE 2K series in-house. But now it seems like that was actually them preempting, we know we're parting ways. Let's start to get ahead on the next wrestling video game project. And where this gets really interesting is that these plans have already kind of been hinted at, like when the Young Bucks spoke over StarCast Weekend to Chris Van Vliet.
Is there any talk of making an AEW video game?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. This is very exciting.
And also over that same weekend, Kenny Omega spoke about his love of the AKI engine, which is what you were talking about earlier, that No Mercy and stuff was built on, where he said this.
Isn't it time we bring back the Aki engine? Yeah!
So potentially, on top of like all these stars who have already defected, Jon Moxley, Shawn Spears, potentially the Revival by the end of the year, the actual developer of WWE's video game series could be starting work on an All Elite Wrestling game.
It could be. If I had to bet, I think it'd be a New Japan game. And I think it will be like an Aki version of Fire Pro. Unless Tony Khan just goes, well, New Japan's got Fire Pro, WWE's got 2K, here's some money, we'll do a Yuke's game. Maybe they just reskin No Mercy, I don't know.
So Pokemon just dropped a bunch of info about the upcoming games Pokemon Sword and Shield, and there's some crazy stuff going on. Sword and Shield are set up to be some of the most ridiculous games we've ever seen, and now we got the addition of Galarian forms. I don't know how to say it, I've only seen it in writing. We start with a Galarian Wheezing, which just turns into the Monopoly Man with giant production stacks out of its head. It's ridiculous. It's a poison and fairy type with levitate and another ability that has remained a mystery. We've got a Galarian Zigzagoon, which is a normal and dark type with pickup and gluttony. We've got Galarian Linoon, which is also normal and dark with pickup and gluttony. And we get an evolution for the Galarian form of Linoon called Obstagoon. This is genuinely insane. This is just a continuation of the Alolan forms that they introduced in Sun and Moon, but in the Galar region. And now we're getting evolutions for Galar form Pokemon. I've been asking for more evolutions for old Pokemon for ages, and this is a brand new way to do it. This is good. We got introduced to the Pikachu Pokemon that has to happen in every region for some reason, but this time it's amazing because it's called Morpeko. It has an ability called Hunger Switch, which means it has two forms, so it's got full belly mode and hangry mode. We also got introduced to a new rival called Beddy, and they've been revealed to have a Duosion. I guess that's cool. We don't know anything else about this character right now. But then we got introduced to another character called Marnie, who's seen with a Morpeko as well. And Marnie apparently has a fan club, which is supposedly the rival team in this game. It's the villainous team. They're called Team Yell. Not too sold on the rival team right now, honestly, but I'll have to see how they play into the game. But good announcement, Pokemon. Big thumbs up from me.
Disney Plus. Disney Plus. Disney Plus. Disney
Plus.
So yesterday was Disney's Q3 earnings report and project.
Yes! Getting there!
Finally! And Bob Iger, the head of Disney,
Q3!
started to go through all the earnings reports, and we have Adam B. Very, a reporter on Twitter, to run us through the... Stop getting so excited about financials! To run through the major takeaways from what he said. While discussing 20th Century Fox's place at Disney, Bob Iger name-checks X-Men, Deadpool and Fantastic Four as part of Marvel Studios, but he does not mention any plans of how those properties will be integrated in the MCU.
Is this then basically saying the pen is hovering, the deal's done, but it's not done enough that anyone can actually go, really, we do own this now?
The Fox deal took forever to finish, and Bob Iger kind of, seems visibly annoyed by that, apparently. But here's a list of the other things that came out from that statement.
2 years before Disney will have a substantive impact on 20th Century Fox's live-action output.
Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and an ad-supported version of Hulu will be available for $13 a month during the launch of Disney Plus in November as an introductory package.
D23 Fan Club will get first subscribers to Disney Plus.
Disney Plus will hopefully be available on Apple, Amazon and Google.
Wow.
They just said it. We hope so. Maybe if we say these big platforms, people will just stop asking questions.
Yeah. On launch day, there'll be 300 movie titles, including 4 Marvel, 8 Star Wars, 18 Pixar, and 400 in the first year alone.
But what time will the train get to the station if it's travelling at 60 miles an hour?
Did Peter get off?
With who?
So yesterday we asked, well, we didn't. Who was it? Laurie and Pete.
It was Laurie and Pete, yeah.
The dream team, apart from this team. So yesterday they asked what features from old wrestling games would you like to bring back? And some of you commented, which is nice.
Antonio Q says, I really want the creative finisher feature to make a comeback. Also, not a comeback, but let us use the game soundtrack for entrance music.
I just use the NWO Wolfpack theme. Because it's the best one ever.
Callum Millward says, we need GM mode. It would be better now because you can call people up from NXT and draft your own roster and go against the other brand or both because wildcard.
Wildcard! I was never a massive GMO player, but it was a lot of fun. You could do it 2-player as well, so you could just like, you would pick Raw, I pick SmackDown, we could just compete, booking and then play different matches, and your show's got ratings and points, and which might be a sore spot for WWE. Maybe
Historically low this week.
Yeah, it's one of those simulation games, but you just have to, it's just crying.
Yeah.
It's going, oh God, no. Oh, no.
It's a bit too inside baseball. You're like, well, I was going up against the presidential debates, so I mean, that makes sense.
It's football season.
Do I phone it in this week because it's a New Year's Day episode?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the post-WrestleMania slump. It's always there. It's July.
And Enigma Reed says, driving around in Eddie's car or on Taker's motorcycle in SmackDown Shut Your Mouth was always fun. Sure, you could only drive on the ramp area or in the parking lot area, but it was always fun seeing who could get there first and run the other down.
I spent hours doing that. Basically, one of the moves was on Taker's bike. You could drive around, and Hobson Shaw reference incoming. When he's in the car and he just puts his hand out and grabs that guy off the motorbike, you could do that. So you would drive along, if someone's on the floor, you'd grab them around the scruff of the neck and just drag them round, and then you could just like fling them off. It was great.
Remember to answer our question of the day down in the comments, which is, what do you want to see from an All Elite Wrestling video game? And of course, press the thumbs up button, give us a subscribe, share this video around, give it loads of love, and click the videos that have just appeared on the desk to catch up with the latest awesome ScreenStalker things. I guess I've been Ollie Davis.
Have you, though?
You've been housemate Simon, star of the 2K20 bar area.
No pictures.
And remember, we're watching.
Do you want me to sign
You've
this
got to
for
say
you?
we're watching at the same time.
No, I
and
don't.
remember, we're what?
No, I don't do it, though.
We're what?
I've never said it before.
We're 3, 2, 1. We're watching. God damn it.